All right, with the cost of everything going up, Social Security beneficiaries, they're in line for an increase because these are people that are on a fixed income.
Absolutely. And every year, the Social Security Administration looks closely at the data to figure out, okay, what is the annual cost of living increase going to be to address increases in inflation and consumer prices. The Senior Citizens League, which is a nonpartisan group, is now estimating that because of this latest data, again, 9.1% inflation rate, that the cost of living increase for next year for Social Security beneficiaries would be 10.5%.
Breaking news, we got some good stimulus information that I want you guys to know. Stimulus checks has been created. A new program has been established. Americans that are seeking government stimulus payments, well, good news. Monthly stimulus checks from your state are going to be approved. Now, here's some big news. Many more relief checks can be expected for the people. A new guaranteed income program will give hundreds of dollars to eligible households in Virginia per month for 2 years. The authorities started accepting applications for the guaranteed income program on October 31st. Those who haven't yet received this guaranteed income program, guaranteed stimulus check from Virginia, need to hurry as the applications can only be filed until November 9. A point to note is that this guaranteed income program is specifically for people in the state of Virginia. The new relief program is going to be sent out based on basic income to hundreds of local families. Now, the mayor of a city in Virginia told reporters, guaranteed income program is a proven tool to help families become stronger and financially stronger footing and take steps to move up the economic ladder. From the total applications, everybody, the program will randomly select residents. The selected people will get $500 a month for 2 years, and authorities expect to first see the guaranteed income stimulus checks from Virginia in 2023. This program is going to cost $3 million, not a lot of money. And the funding for the program just comes from the CARES Act and the Rescue Plan Act. To be eligible for the guaranteed stimulus check, you must be at least 18 years older, and also applicants' annual income should be less than 50% of the area median income. Not only this, but other states and cities are doing the same thing. They're experimenting with this. They're experimenting with similar guaranteed income programs. Richmond, Virginia, for instance, came up with a similar program with just 18 families. New York also did the same thing. For the last 6 months, President Biden has just been talking with his advisors about discussing the gas prices and what needs to happen on this. That's because now single prices rattle consumers as much as the cost of gas, which crept up again to a new high of $5 a gallon in June, as it comes no surprise that soaring gas prices corresponded directly with President Biden's sinking approval rating. Since then, gas prices have fallen by about $1.10. Biden may have helped a little by releasing oil from the strategic reserve, but according to Yahoo News, Biden has largely ignored another important type of fuel. Diesel fuel, which is critical for the production and transportation of many everyday products, is here. Around the same time, gas hit $5 a gallon. Diesel hit $5.81 a gallon. Now gas prices are now 22% below their peak, but diesel is just 8% lower. On a year-over-year basis, gas prices are up 15%, while diesel is up 43%. High diesel prices are a kind of hidden inflation because most consumers never buy diesel, but an important input is the production and transportation of many things, including food and consumer goods. Inflation is already 8% higher than usual. Huge reason why Biden's approval rating are low. Now, the American Farm Bureau Federation wrote a letter to President Biden. They drew attention on this. They said our nation's food supply is driven by diesel. High diesel prices are impacting farmers and ranchers, causing increased costs to consumers and adding to food insecurity. Demand for diesel has remained strong due to robust spending on goods shipped by trucks during the crisis, which likely will not hold up this holiday season. So, President Biden, lower the gas prices, do something about this, help out the American people that need stimulus checks, and send out stimulus payments now. Let's not forget about this. The incoming administration was more concerned about jobs, fearing a repeat of the sluggish recovery that followed the global financial crisis. The unemployment rate fell in January again, and the congressional Democrats did quickly pass a $1 trillion relief bill, which included direct payments of $1,400 to most adults, along with expanded unemployment benefits and a new child tax credit. As economic stimulus, it was a success. Employers have added more than 10 million jobs since Biden took office. Republicans blamed the aggressive relief bill on the previous administration, but we all know that's not the truth.
Senators Durbin, Murray, Stabenow, and Senator Baldwin. Now, we had a great, happy, and spirited discussion in our caucus. Democrats are ready and eager and united to finish this Congress on a very strong note. We are excited for the future. with a new and hopefully a little larger majority than we had in the last Congress. This Senate, the longest 50-50 Senate in history, has been extraordinarily productive. Nearly 2 years into the Democratic majority, I want to take a moment to highlight the many, many accomplishments we've secured in this chamber under Democratic leadership. It's the most in recent memory. The American Rescue Plan, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Plan, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Gun Safety Bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, an omnibus package, and so many others in between. What people failed to see, then see now, it served us very well in the election. While Republicans were tossing firebombs over the wall, engaging in nasty...
Everybody, there's some shocking news. The lawmakers are now negotiating on sending $400 stimulus payments to people that meet the eligibility requirements. So if you've been affected by the ongoing crisis, don't worry because stimulus checks are definitely on the way. Now, prices at the pump, the gas pump that is, have stopped falling from the recent highs, and some forecasters are warning of another uptick as the summer driving season looms. According to AAA, after a slow but steady decline, the national average price for regular gasoline bottomed out at around $4.07 per gallon. And since the national average has increased 4 days in a row, climbing to $4.10 a gallon on Tuesday, it's the first increased gas prices since early March, when the turmoil in energy markets hit a crescendo. And it dashes hope that the national average would drop to $4 a gallon, taking the pressure off inflation that is running at the highest pace in 40 years. Now, the president of Lipo Oil told CNN this is terrible news for inflation and it isn't going down anymore. Up until this week, people have been forecasting a return to $4 a gallon for gas. People have since abandoned that call because of renewed concerns about oil supplies and a pop in gasoline prices. However, the outlook is highly uncertain. Oil prices remain volatile and are subject to sharp moves, both higher and lower. They retreat in prices at the pump over the past 6 weeks and was driven by a variety of factors, including a tumble in oil prices, recession fears, and an unprecedented release of oil from emergency stockpiles by the U.S. The good news is the federal government analysts still see gas prices going lower. The Energy Information Administration expects retail gas prices to average around $3.84 a gallon during this summer's driving season, although they'll be well above last week's summer average of $3.06 a gallon. The EIA notes that inflation-adjusted gas prices would still be below the levels of 2014, let alone the spike in 2008 during the onset of the Great Recession. So, Gavin Newsom has proposed giving $400 payments to the owner of a vehicle registered in California as a way to address skyrocketing gas prices. The $11 billion relief package would send payments of $400 to the owner of each registered vehicle, up to 2 vehicles per person. Newsom is also proposing $750 million in grants that would actually make public transit free for about 3 months. Up to $600 million is set to pause a part of the sales tax rate on diesel for 1 year, and $523 million to pause the inflationary adjustment to gas and diesel excise tax rate. Governor Newsom said that the reg relief will address the issue that we are all struggling to address, and that's the issue of gas prices, not only here in our state, but of course across the country. Now, Newsom's proposal also calls for $500 million in active transportation for projects that promote biking and walking throughout the state, and fast-tracks a $1.75 billion portion of the governor's historic $10 billion package